discover the natural power of ashwagandha, an ancient herb known for its healing properties. For over 3,000 years, ashwagandha has been trusted to reduce stress, increase energy, and improve focus. Our ashwagandha is carefully grown, harvested, and processed to retain its maximum potency. Each root is hand-picked and dried, then ground into a pure organic powder, ensuring the highest quality. Simply mix 1 teaspoon into your favorite beverage or take it in capsule form as prescribed by a healthcare professional. Whether you're looking to balance your stress levels, boost your immune system, or enhance mental clarity, ashwagandha offers a natural solution. Experience the benefits of ancient wisdom backed by modern science. Trust nature. Trust ashwagandha. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Good afternoon, family. Hope you guys are doing amazing, and welcome to another episode of the Africa Today Show. My name is Joby. For those who are here for the first time, returning listeners as usual, hope you all are doing great. Your week has been fantastic, and wishing you a beautiful weekend ahead. Welcome as we discuss about the war. What happens if the war continues? But before we get into that, we should be joined by Mr. Blackhotfire in a few, but we're going to be discussing a little bit about some things I did hint earlier, the hantavirus, what is all about. Are we going on a new pandemic? What is meant to happen? And personally, I think I did question about the same thing earlier. I was just trying to understand if they put us on a lockdown and the fact that the war is still continuing, what is going to happen? Like, we've seen the consequences of 2020 lockdown, how it affected so many people economically. So imagine right now, what could really happen? What could really happen if they do this, the fact that there's a war, and then lock people down? The economy already is really bad. So this is some really scary stuff. If they're pushing for a lockdown, this is some really scary stuff. This is super scary. But before we get into that, we're going to discuss a little bit about how Pennsylvania, this is just a week ago of the beginning of this week, how they passed a new bill banning whites-only housing by just 1 vote. And we're going to see how this is going to be taking effect. But karibuni, remember, you can get the organic supplements we have on our app. It's very easy for you to get our app on the Google Play Store. Black Hot Fire Network is the name. It requires you nothing to pay for you to sign in. It's free of charge. You can listen to us via the radio segment, or rather on Amazon TV. On Amazon TV or Roku TV, if you're not that busy during the weekend, you can catch up with all the shows that you've missed throughout the week. And maybe if Keith comes on, you can also catch him live on the network itself. But with that being said, let me start with this quick conversation. Literally, that was, I think, the beginning of this week, where we had Pennsylvania passing a bill banning whites-only housing by just 1 vote. And I want to get to share a couple of videos from people's expression, how they feel about this.
This is your reminder that segregation and slavery was not that long ago, because Pennsylvania just passed a bill through their House that closes a loophole that a private association was trying to exploit to create whites-only housing. And it passed by 1 vote. What's crazy about this 101 to 100 vote is not that a single Democrat actually voted against it, meaning it should have been 102 to 99, but that other 99 that voted against it was all Republicans. The bill also expands anti-discrimination protections for employment, housing, and public accommodations to a person's sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity or expression. So that could potentially be why the Republicans were against it. But I need you to understand how insane that is. 99 Republicans, not a single one, agreed that we should not have whites-only buildings being built. I knew Pennsylvania was considered a purple state because it's sort of in between Ohio and then New York, Connecticut. I didn't realize it was that purple. I didn't even address the fact that Pennsylvania has a whites-only association in it. We're in 2026.
1 vote. It took 1 vote to stop Pennsylvania from having only white housing. 100 people voted for this in 2026. But honestly, I'm not surprised. As a real estate agent, trust me, I'm telling you, I see it all the time. But I've never seen it in writing. And this hits different, man. This is bigger than Pennsylvania. This is a problem that we really have. And I keep telling everyone, representation matters. Who you hire to represent you matters. Who you vote for to represent you matters. But this is something that you should all be paying attention to, because only one vote stopped Pennsylvania from having only white housing. This came into effect because of a Return to Land organization reportedly formed a whites-only community in Arkansas, and they tried to expand it into Pennsylvania. And like I said, it took one vote to stop it. But guys, if you think about buying a home, if you think about doing anything when it comes to real estate, make sure you're hiring someone that knows the laws, that knows what's going on, that's staying in tune with everything, and just make sure the people that you are putting in place to represent you are truly representing you. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think.
I feel like, man, this some good news, maybe for once, but it goes back to something Keith says a lot. Everything they do is based on racism, because it's 2026 for you to still be wanting to, I don't know, but shit.
2026, it took one vote to stop an all-only white community from happening in Pennsylvania in 2026.
Pennsylvania House Democrats passed a bill by one vote that would prevent white-only towns from being created in the state. Democrats in Pennsylvania did this after a story broke last year of Eric Olwell starting a whites-only town in Arkansas. He was able to do this by finding a loophole where he can start a private club. And this is part of their rules, that once people have been vetted, including with a video interviewing to confirm their ethnicity, they can buy shares of the land. And it's not just white. You have to be a white, straight Christian to live in this town. According to reports, there are currently 40 people living in this town. And after establishing the town in Arkansas, Eric said he wants to bring it to other states like Pennsylvania. This plan to come to Pennsylvania is what led Representative Ben Waxman to...
I mean, it's been a while indeed. Hope you're doing amazing. And nice to see you. Hope your week has been good, and wishing you a beautiful weekend.
Introduce House Bill 2103. That bill would prevent any organization from discriminating against protected groups under the guise of being a private club or members-only organization. And Representative Malcolm Kenyatta also added an amendment that would explicitly add protections against discrimination based on sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity or expression in employment, housing, and public accommodation. The bill passed 101 to 100. Every single Republican in the Pennsylvania House voted against it, and one Democrat, Frank Burns. This is Frank Burns, who calls himself a conservative Democrat, which essentially breaks down to he's friendly to businesses, but not friendly to people's rights. The bill now moves to the PA Senate. It is unclear when they will vote on it or how they will vote on it. The governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, said if the bill reaches his desk, he will sign it. This is why elections, especially primaries, matter, especially in a state like Pennsylvania where your primaries are May 19th. Remember that, because we need elected officials that are going to stand up to fascism, not people who are going to cozy up to fascism. The perfect example of that is Malcolm Kenyatta, who added the amendment to House Bill 2103. In 2022, he was up against John Fetterman in the primaries for the Senate seat that John Fetterman won. And in a recent comment, Malcolm Kenyatta said John promised that he was going to go to D.C. and be Democrats' 51st vote. And instead, he's gone to D.C. and is behaving like Donald Trump's fucking intern. He understands what this moment requires of him. Share this so people can see how some Democrats are trying to meet the moment by fighting fascism and closing loopholes that allow them to thrive and grow.
Y'all, they really try to get away with this. It's 2026 and you telling me we still gotta vote on banning white-only communities? That's crazy. Nah, this one sounds...
Times change, they don't, right?
Crazy at first. But listen, this just happened in Pennsylvania and the vote was 101 to 100. One vote difference. That's how ridiculously close the vote was. A bill just passed to stop people from having segregated housing communities. That's crazy. Y'all know they try to keep certain races out. You know what race I'm talking about. But here's the part people not telling you. The group of people, they wasn't just saying it openly like, hey, we don't want them here. They were trying to do it behind legal loopholes so no one would know. They were calling themselves private communities or clubs so they can get around the discrimination laws. So the vote wasn't about bringing something new in. It was about trying to stop something old that they're trying to bring back. I'm looking at it like, bruh, the fact that it only passed by one vote is wild to me. So let me ask y'all, if it only took one vote to stop it, what do that tell you about where we're really at right now?
Pennsylvania.
It's crazy. And I was just trying to look at more videos on which states have white-only towns in America today. Let's see.
No blacks, no Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills, in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving.
Meaning you don't want black people to be there.
Our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
Of course, literally. Because what are you...
Well, I mean, you don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labor, the women take care of the children who live here full time. It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how any of this can be legal. Return to the Land is structured as a private members association, which they believe allows them to discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors. That has yet to be tested in the courts and may well fail. The Arkansas Attorney General has said his office is now reviewing them as a result of our reporting, and that there is no room for racial discrimination in Arkansas or anywhere in a free society.
This is crazy. So, for those who are just joining,
that was an all-white town, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was trying to look at white-only towns in America today.
It's falling apart. They begging for funds. They all poor and fucked up. Can't farm. The white people were all the great farmers. They can't farm. They begging for money.
Yeah, because we had Pennsylvania, which passed just a few days ago, banning passed a bill that is banning white-only housing by just one vote. I'm just from sharing that as we look at white-only communities, in America, which is crazy. Of course, they don't want. There's only one race that is not needed there. Those are the black people. Literally, they don't know about maybe the Latinos. Probably
they don't care. It's the black people. It's the niggas.
No blacks, no Jews, no gays.
It's so weird watching black people get mad at white people for starting functioning white communities.
Yeah, we don't care, dog.
We don't care.
We don't give a
flying fuck. We don't get mad. Exactly. We don't care about what you do. When we do it, you say it's illegal. You burn the places down. Like Joby showed the last one they tried to do again recently, like last year, 2 years in Georgia. You stopped it. Because you people know you can't do shit without us. We said, okay, we're going to make our own black town. Those guys bought all that land in rural Georgia, in the middle of nowhere. I know where it's at, too. I travel through that area. That's off of, you guys want to know, if you guys know the area between Macon and Savannah, right? On I-16 is out there, it's in the middle of nowhere. So they were gonna build their own community. Bought a bunch of land out there. They're gonna start building their own little town or their own little village. What white people do, came and blocked it. Because they don't want us to have our own shit because it causes white rage. See, we don't care about you. Go have your own. We don't want to be around your ass. We're not like the South African nigga. You know, Black American, we don't want to be around your fucking ass. We don't care nothing what you do. But when we try to build our own shit, you got a problem with it. It's absolutely crazy. Because for you psychopaths, you must have dominance. You don't see nobody black getting mad about you building your own white town. We don't care. You're the majority of this country. Go do your thing. I don't want to be part of that shit. No way. Go do it. You wicked motherfuckers gonna be incest, pedophilia, all kind of fucking cannibalism, all kind of shit up in there. Fucking eating doo-doo, all kind of weird shit you people do. We're good. We're good. But when we try to do ours, like that girl did in Georgia, Joby showed they got that land. And I told her, I said, Joby brought that to my attention like 2 years ago. Joby brought it up about that girl and they bought that land in Georgia. I said, I already knew. I said, white people ain't gonna allow that. It's something they hate us. Then, we don't have control of it. You think you're gonna build something without us? Having control of you? You be able to set up curriculum and do what you want to do? No way. No way. No way. So that shit. I'm gonna do this for me, Joe, real quick. Since you're on TikTok, type in, say whatever happened to the town. Say whatever happened to the town in Georgia that black people were trying to make. Let's see. I know white people shut that shit down, but see, they can have their own town. They mad because we don't care. Don't care. Yeah, we don't want to be involved with you nasty motherfuckers. Say whatever happened to the black only. No, how should I say? Whatever happened to the black
hometown?
The black town. No, not a hometown. Say whatever happened to the town. Oh yeah, the town. Whatever to the town in Georgia that black people were trying to create. There you go. Whatever happened to the town in Georgia that black people were trying to create? They stopped that shit. White people said, nope, no you don't. No you don't.
70 families bought 5,000 acres of land to create a new town called Freedom, Georgia. We didn't want to fix a broken system, so we created our own. Turns out this is a lie. I don't know where I got this post. I should have done my due diligence before reposting, but I was excited actually.
You hear that? That is the sound of freedom. A lush, rugged expanse of 130 miles south of Atlanta, just shy of 97 acres. It's undeveloped, unincorporated, and it has new owners.
It feels amazing. It feels really amazing. I cry every time I come here.
Renee Walters is one of them. She's president of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. It's a collective of 19 black families who recently bought this land. This dream all started a few weeks ago during Renee's typical morning call with her friend Ashley Scott.
She said, Ashley, did you see the article about Toomsboro for sale?
It turns out that the entire small town was never for sale, just a bundle of a few dozen homes and buildings. So Ashley, a real estate agent, looked for listings in the area and found one for this.
And it was just such a beautiful piece of land. It was affordable, and it just made sense that we could create something that would be amazing for our families.
Why were these two women interested in the prospect of buying a town in the first place?
It really was when we saw what happened with Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the protests.
We both have black husbands, we both have black sons, and I was starting to get overwhelmed and have a sense of anxiety when my husband would leave the house to go to work.
So watching our people protesting in the streets, while it is important, and I want people to stay out in the streets, bringing attention to the injustices of black people.
Now remember, Ahmaud Arbery, remember, She's in Georgia. Ahmaud Arbery was killed in Georgia, where they ran him down, just shot the boy, killed him in cold blood. Virgil.
Create a space and a place where we could be a village again, a tribe again.
So Renee and Ashley reached out to family and friends, and together they bought what they intend to name Freedom, Georgia, a new black city.
We don't intend for it to be exclusively black, but we do intend for it to be pro-black in every way.
Jessica Gordon-Amard is an economist and an expert on black collectives.
I've found tremendous benefits to individuals, families, and the communities that are involved in it, including, the economic stability and prosperity, but also leadership development, social capital development, other kinds of human capital development. And so it's really a win-win for everybody involved.
It's going to bring joy. See, what it would do? It would bring joy and self-determination. And you guys will start building. See, as black people, especially in America, that's what we do. Shout out to that white guy, Joe. We always show that. What's his name? Hashid Bosom, whatever that dude's name. See, I want to let you know, as black Americans, we've always been, always our shit got torn down, blown up, burned down to the ground. But us, that's why that integration shit with MLK didn't work. They knew that's why they had to put us on. That's why we lost everything. People can't read and write, can't talk. Did you see the study that majority of people in America can't read or write? You know that? Today? Because of these white schools? Everywhere they go, they turn off the lights. And where black people go, we turn on the light. They want to keep everybody stupid and fucked up. So as long as it keeps their white supremacist scam going on. Because if you're too stupid to think outside the box, you'll just live and die in the goddamn box of poverty. So, every time we're alone, we start to build, right? And so since we do this integration shit, right, we built nothing. Before we had the group integration, we had what? We owned everything. We owned our own buses. We owned everything. Movie theater, we had a separate Hollywood. And so we were given that fake ass be under white folks shit. Now we don't own a goddamn thing. Nothing. We got, and this is a European term. You guys don't know. I'm sure you guys probably found out. I told you guys years ago. Where's the term? We don't have a piss. We don't have a pot to piss in or window to throw it out. You know those are European terms, right? Because before they got out, before these savages left Europe, they were poor, and so to make money, they would piss in a pot and use the damn piss in the pot to go tan the clothing. And so some said, so some Europeans were so poor they didn't have a pot to piss in. They couldn't piss in the pot. That's where the term came from. They couldn't piss in a pot. They were so poor. That's what the term said. You ain't got a pot to piss in. That came from Europe because they would take this stinking ass pee because they were filthy and use the piss as dye. Imagine you walking around with piss on your body as dye. Yeah, that's your Jesus. Those are Jesus you love, morons, without knowing real history. Pissing in a pot and taking it to a tanning place to put on clothes. Yeah. So all these terms, we had no idea. What you about to say, Joby?
Nothing.
So all these terms we had no idea about, right? So, as you see, so keep on going, Joe. Go and play it.
The owners hosted the Big Black Campout over Labor Day weekend. Supporters drove in from across the country.
See?
The plan is to introduce farming next, to create a lake for sustainable fishing, facilities for recreation, and eventually develop
now this is going to call white raids. They can't. See, they were just starting to develop the land for farming. They don't want you to have the farms. They keep telling the Africans they don't even know how to farm over there. That's a lie. But about the land, you're gonna start farming fish ponds. Of course, you're gonna start giving good education. Women gonna start teaching the children well-mannered, well-behaved children. highly motivated. You can't have that. You gotta have what we have today. Bunch of morons doing bad rap, don't know what the fuck they're talking about. The black community is completely almost damn near destroyed. So you taking back the community where you left alone and to steal your own identity in yourself. Oh no, nope, 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 nope. See, they can build their white towns, but we can't have our black ones. Because they know us left alone, we always succeed. They must be able to be with us and put their filthy ass behaviors into our people. Go ahead, Joby.
By being able to create a community that is thriving, that is
Exactly.
safe, that has agriculture and commercial businesses that are supporting one another, and that dollars circulating in our community. That is
Exactly.
our vision. And to be able to pass this land down to my children and to the children that
Generational
are
wealth.
represented by each of our 19 families as a piece of legacy. We're hoping to create legacy. And I am the co-founder of the Freedom Georgia Initiative, where we as 19 black families
How dare you niggas in your legacy?
502 acres of land to build a environmentally sustainable smart city for black families to thrive and to create an Afro future. We are really excited. I'm very excited to be here to discuss this, and moreover to share that I'm a mother, I am a wife of a black man and of black children. And so what we're doing is really to ensure a future and real estate development and land acquisition, reclaiming our land. That's what my personal
See, the thing is to take you back to slavery. And by now we've seen that they're taking away your vote. See, times change, they don't. Thing is to put you back in slavery. I'm gonna have Joby show here. Law was passed. You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking when I say times change, they don't. I want to get so violently wild that I'm on YouTube. What's coming down the pike? I'm gonna make it so inevitably clear what they're doing. Because remember, there are no jobs. You know, as black people, what? You're the last hired and the first fired, right? We're always the last hired and the first fired. So with you not having any jobs, and Majority put us up too, now they're criminalizing homelessness because you can't afford the rent shit, and they're also criminalizing you. What? Remember what's everybody had to do since everybody lost their apartment? They've been sleeping in their cars. Now Florida, where I'm at right now, I'm down in Orlando, and other states have now made it criminal for you to sleep in your motherfucking car. You mad at this? You ain't got nowhere to sleep you can't afford an apartment. Now they tell you can't sleep in your car, you ain't bothering nobody. Because they want your ass in a slave camp, prison camp, for free labor. And read Project 2025, the thing is they told you, we want to put these niggas back in slavery. Remember, these white people ain't never got no money for themselves. They've always been poor, backwards, and fucked up. They're parasites. So since now their world is starting to collapse, they're going back to their same ways. How can we create a parasitical society where we can benefit from? Stand this? This is not hyperbole. This is not no game. This is real. That's why when the Supreme Court came down with that racist ass ruling, remember it's legal, but is it just? Of course not. It's racism against black people. It's a war. No two ways about it. It's a war, right? So when they passed that law, every state, when you motherfucker, you goddamn coon ass niggas like that fucking fake ass Candace Owens, and she even mentioned it with her fake ass, right? With her coon ass, how this disfranchises black people, and how every state, when the Supreme Court changed that law, that your father, your parents, and your grandparents, really that your grandparents fought for, right? Most of our parents are still teenagers, so we really can't say it was our parents Mostly our grandparents that were fighting for that shit, right? So every state in the South went immediately to disenfranchise black. Immediately. Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. Immediately to fuck you up. Immediately. See, they say all racism is over. They blatantly in your fucking face with it. Ain't that funny? Blatantly in your fucking face. So I want you to do this for me, Jovi. That's enough of that. We know enough. Type in TikTok. I'm gonna say also with this war what's gonna happen. But anyway, type in TikTok. Say the Louisiana law. Louisiana, Louisiana, Louisiana. The Louisiana law that now criminalize being homeless. Now, if you found homeless in Louisiana, they're gonna take you to a prison. It's called work for free. It's called work. Yeah, see how white people make these fake semantic words? It's called work to freedom. Hold on, Joey, play. We're gonna play a couple of them. Dude, what's called work to freedom or some crazy shit that was something about some fake freedom, democracy, all these fake ass words, right? All these fake ass words. People probably realize the words don't mean shit. So I told you they're putting back slavery. So black people, you're gonna be if you live in where Nish lives at in that state, Louisiana, and it's gonna go to every state. Every state. Louisiana is just the first. So I want you to understand this. You live in a racist country, and now they're putting it back in your face. It's no more, well, the country's made some, these handkerchief head niggas. The country's made some improvement. It's been some improvement. All white folks ain't bad. That same shit you get from goopy hairton niggas. All white folks ain't bad. Why the white folks ain't fighting on your behalf about changing that law about your vote and fucking you up in Congress? Remember, and it's not just in Congress. You also won't have black representation locally. So we're talking about even in your state, because remember, this is statewide shit they're doing from your state. So we're not talking about even on a national level, because your Congress people come from your state. We're talking about even your state representative, your state house, your state congressman, your state senators, your state mayor. This shit gonna get crazy. You probably won't. Black mayors are probably gonna be gone. Where they gonna rearrange these districts, and I think that's good. I think that's good. Cause I want to hear no more motherfuckers in my face. You can't argue with a coon ass nigga because it's always ambiguous. They're gonna say, well, you ain't really suffer like your parents and your grandparents did. It's not all bad now. Oh no. Oh yeah. It's in your face. And I'm gonna Joby play it. So go ahead, play that Joby real quick.
Louisiana House Judiciary Committee approved legislation criminalizing being unhoused in the state, imposing fines for first offenses of up to $500 and a minimum of 6 months in prison. Which
see that? I'm homeless, so maybe the homeless cost me $500. You know you can't pay, but you're going. So that fake $500 shit's fake. You're going to prison. I'm gonna go to prison for 6 months. And you're never gonna get out. So that's all. Understand the scam they use. That's all. Verbal nonsense. They're not gonna let you out after 6 months. You're being locked up because you don't got no place, because you're poor, because you got no place to live, because this government and this economy has fucked you. Get it? And I'm gonna be locked up for 6 months to do slave labor. And don't think you're gonna get out, because look, you're not getting paid no money. So how you gonna get out and make any money to get out? Where you gonna go? They'll say, well, you found, you know the scam white people do. By the time of the 6 months over, well, have you found housing yet? Huh? Found housing? I've been in prison. I ain't got no money. You ain't pay me no money. Well, looks like another 6 months for you, Keith. Back out in the fields, nigga. That's how the scam works. How the fuck am I gonna get housing and money if I'm doing slave labor in prison? So this is reauthorizing the slavery. That's always what they wanted to do. Like I told you guys, they never want to get rid of no fucking slavery. They're mad. They're trying to say, how can we implement this shit? Because remember, all white society, how they on top, was been the exploitation of African people. I don't give a fuck what you want to call yourself, Indian, whatever the fuck. African people globally has made the world's wealth in Africa and outside of it. From the Caribbean to America, South America to Africa. It's been made exploitation of black people's backs. And they've always known that in America. You think America got rich off what? Off of slavery. Fuck you talking about? People gaslighting you with nonsense. This is a known fact. I don't care how much they try to change down the history books. Slavery made this filthy, wicked-ass country wealthy. That's how America became rich and the dominant on the planet, because of black labor, black exploitation, black bodies breaking in the sun, dying, rape, pillage. That's what they like. So when you get a handkerchief head moron, all white people ain't bad, they all good. All of them not like their granddaddies and blah, blah, blah. Everyone tell you that shit, right? You always want to tell you that shit. I always want to get that bullshit. And each time I try to tell you, times change, they don't. They're always trying to figure out a way to put you back in slavery, to make sure they're on top and they can get wealth off other people's suffering. Okay? That's their plan. And you talk about you've been in a goopy church. About Christianity is the worst. Islam is the worst for black people. You can't get your fucking head out your ass because you said they're my brothers and sisters in Jesus. They're my brothers and sisters in Islam. And all that nutty shit. All that goopy, backward ass, childish shit. Yeah, your brothers in Jesus are now creating a slave system again for your ass. Okay? Ain't that funny? Your brothers in Jesus. Now I told you, if the league believed in a hell like your stupid ass does, why would they do all these things? Because no, they would be going to hell if they believed in this hell they gave to your dumb ass. If they were going to hell, they fear something. They don't fear none of it. They gave it to your moronic ass nigga. Let the niggas have it. They'll believe in the shit. Do good, do right. Scared to go to some fictitious ass hell while we enslave their ass again. But go ahead, Joby. Go ahead, play it.
Convictions while giving local governments the ability to set up internment camps for the unhoused. The bill, which passed on a 12-4 vote, is part of GOP Governor Jeff Landry's legislative.
You see that? Pose that 12-4. So then nobody opposes. So where all the good white folks at? And Sister Soldier told you, we're gonna do that again. We're gonna show you. And Sister Soldier said, when the cool ass niggas, don't you know some white people? Guess what? He said, show me one good white person. I'd like to meet them. I've met none. I remember that. No, it overwhelmingly passed to implement slavery under different names. See, it's always slavery. They don't like to call it slavery. They call it forced labor, homeless people. But at the end of the day, any other name, it's slavery. And they all voted for it. So the majority of white people are fucking wicked. Okay? That's what it shows you over and over again. You bootlick, handkerchief head ass niggas. Go ahead, Joby.
Landry has long been hostile towards the unhoused. In 2025, his administration used armed state agents to round up unhoused New Orleans and force them into internment camps so
That's black people.
Super Bowl
That's black people.
Wouldn't see them. Representative Debbie Villio titled House Bill 211 the, quote, Streets to Success Act.
Let's go. The Streets to Success. This is how duplicitous, how evil these people are. The streets to success. So you being locked up for slavery is taking you out to the streets and giving you success. Told you. Everything they write is psychopathic. Everything. They don't get away. What's this? Ain't this slavery? No, it's not slavery. It's the Streets to Success Act. We're helping these niggas go from the streets to success. Well, you're going to pay them? No. You're going to work them? That's going to be success. Well, you said they got 6 months in prison. You criminalize being homeless, being poor. Well, you know, these niggas with their bad behaviors and they ebonics, these niggas with their ebonics and they bad rapping shit and Cardi B's and Nicki Minaj and Meg Thee Stallion, we got to put them in prison. Rehabilitate these niggas. All right, we got to give them some success. We got to do streets to success. But isn't this slavery? It's the streets to success. We're making them a success. So, man, it's going to be civil war. Black people, this is so in your face slavery. They're doing it. They're voting it in. And don't, like I said, don't think it's going to just stay in Louisiana. It's going to go from state to state to state to state. They're going to see your get down. They're going to see your pushback. Because black people, you got the arms. You got to do like your grandmothers did, grandfathers did. You're going to have to go in white people's neighborhoods again and do what? You know what I'm talking about. You have to give out bubble gum. You have to give it back out. Just like we did in the 60s and 50s. You're going to have to give out bubble gum baths. Bubble gum. Because now they're not afraid of you no more. That's why they can pass these bills. They're not afraid. They made you passive with the MLK. Now you're passive. They're not afraid of you. Remember, come out so right, they were afraid of us. Because we were doing what needed to be done. They're not afraid of you no more. So they go back to their natural ways, right? They go back to their natural behavior, right? So it's going to have to be a lot of bubblegum parties going on. And I mean for real. For real. Publicly. In the streets. Bodies in the streets. Dragged out of people's houses. Bubblegum. A lot of bubblegum got to be going on. Because this crosses the line of your humanity. This is them openly telling you they want to put you back in slavery. Called on a slick name. Street to Success. This is the Streets to Success bill. Which he just told us we're going to put you in prison. Streets to Success. What are you going to do in prison? You're going to do slave labor. Of course. You know, that's in the Constitution. They never got rid of slavery in America. They moved to what? From private to public. Slavery is legal if I put you in prison. We know they got slavery. Joby showed you Angola, the biggest prison farm in America. Right? Biggest slave prison farm in America. That's what, Louisiana, Angola. And that's where the law first starts there. Press bodies for Angola prison. They make your shoes, your socks, your hats, your caps. Wrappings for McDonald's food, all kind of shit they do up in there. Slave labor. That's where your ass going, nigga, to Angola. Prison. You're not going to Angola, the country. You're going to Angola, the prison in Louisiana. Go ahead, Joe.
Sought to paint the bill as an act of compassion, downplaying the fact that
act of compassion.
Having a home a crime. Vileo also sought to cast being unhoused as a result of addiction or mental illness and not broader economic pressures. When pressured on whether sleeping in public would be an arrestable offense under the bill, Vileo said, quote, "There is a possibility you could do that under this bill, but that's not the goal," In fact, that is the goal of the bill. HB 211 clearly makes it a criminal offense for sleeping in public and would prohibit local governments from not treating being unhoused as a crime. According to supporters, the bill is based on an anti-unhoused ordinance implemented in Portland, Oregon, though it imposes significantly harsher penalties. God's Unchanging Hands Feeding Ministry founder Pamela McKay raised concerns with the measure, noting, quote, "Not everyone who's homeless are drug addicts. If the jails are full, why would we want to make that a criminal case? People are going through a lot. The rising rates of rent are just crazy," McKay added. Arguing penalizing people for being homeless will only make things worse for people who lack housing. New Orleans Democratic Representative Mandy Landry also raised concerns with language in the bill forcing local governments to criminalize being unhoused. She also
now remember that pause that. Now remember, I want to make that. This country's evil. And keep talking. This country's created with evil. It's always been evil, and it's still evil. This country is evil. It's wicked. Evil. Built on evilness and wickedness. Then when you got your goofy FBAs, I remember this country's evil. Always has, always will be. Fuck the propaganda they've given you. Go back to this real countries, and this country's always been evil. So now with you now being arrested, they're gonna discriminate, making more black people. Now they're gonna get picked up, being homeless and locked up. And the sad fact now they passed this law, you would not have no representation. So you won't have no political officials to even speak on your motherfucking behalf. Okay? Not in your city, not in your state, and damn sure not nationally, not up in DC. So no one's gonna speak on your black ass behavior, your black ass behalf, excuse me. Or they locking your ass up and giving you the street to success. It's street to success. You imagine this? You get locked up because these motherfuckers have now priced you out of being able to afford a home. And they're making sure you got to be in the streets because they said it's now illegal to sleep in your car. You see how they setting this all? Since all this is wicked, this is evil. They're now putting slavery back in motion, but just calling it different names. It's the street to success bill. It's streets to success. It ain't slavery. It's streets to success. Oh my God.
Local governments could only set up internment camps in areas where it would not negatively affect property values, which would effectively put them far away from people's jobs, public transportation, and other services. Quote, "Where could we possibly put something that might not affect the value of the local property?" In the middle of Angola, Landry said.
Louisiana has advanced one of the cruelest anti-homeless bills in the country. It would force homeless people to choose between jail and involuntary treatment, make them pay for it, and if you can't pay, it's going to force them to do unpaid labor.
Pause it. Slavery. Pause exactly. Pause exactly. See, I guess you said it's cruel. It ain't cruel. It's evil. They're legalizing slavery. You understand this? You understand this shit? I want you to understand the magnitude of this. You understand the magnitude of this wicked shit? And these are your good white folks, okay? It's not going to just stay in Louisiana. You know it's going to move to Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas. All the southern states are going. You know it, right? Some up north too. Some up north. Maybe Michigan, maybe Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's racist as shit. It's just the one with jibber jabbing. It's just two cities in Pennsylvania that's not as bad. That's Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. But in the middle, oh no. I was lost in Pennsylvania 2 months ago. I said, you better not stop. I was having a guy, you better not stop. You're not going to door around this motherfucker being black. It'll blow your motherfucking head off. How about you need some help? Yeah. So Pennsylvania might be one of those northern states that passes that shit, that wicked ass, racist ass state. Yeah. You know, jibber jabber know that state racist as fuck. Anyway. Because remember, they tell you, what is Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania is really just Pittsburgh in the west, Philadelphia in the east, and Alabama in the middle. Pennsylvania just as racist as Alabama. Don't ever get it twisted. You just got Pittsburgh in the west, one big city in the west, and one big city in the east over there in that state. Got Pittsburgh in the west and Philadelphia in the east, and all the rest of that motherfucker is nigga, hate nigga country. All the rest of that shit is hate nigga country. Pennsylvania, hate nigga country. All right? So don't get it twisted, you know. And the Somalis may be safe. Minnesota's a little more liberal, so they're going to lock them inbred head niggas up that. Ohio, you might be dangerous. Ohio's close. I know all the southern states this is going to be law. All down here, this shit is going to be law. California, California's still liberal, but you can't afford to live in that motherfucker. No, it'll never pass in California. California won't pass, but you can't afford to live there no way. New York State, let's see. Probably won't pass in New York. Virginia, close. But everything south of Virginia, yeah. Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, and of course we're at there, Louisiana and Oklahoma. Yeah, that's an absolute hell yeah. New Mexico, I'm not sure. I don't really know the politics of New Mexico too much. Arizona, most likely not. You got a lot of, probably not Arizona. Portland, no. Washington State, no. Let's see. I forgot the Midwest northern states. Absolutely, yes. Idaho, hell yeah. Utah, the Mormon motherfuckers, hell yeah. Colorado, was only that close. I can't, probably not. I'm trying to give you some safe states. If you lose your job, these are states you better go to. You black, they gonna lock your ass up. Colorado, I think you might be safe in Colorado. Next door to Colorado, Nebraska and Kansas, they locking your ass up for slave labor. Missouri, locking your ass up. North and South Dakota, locking your black ass up. Minnesota, nah, you survive. Too cold, but you'll survive. Where Ricky lives at, they won't lock your black ass up there. You can survive. They'll let you go in Minnesota. Illinois is just like fucking Pennsylvania, right? You got big ass Chicago in the north, but the rest of Illinois is racist as shit, right? You got one big city in Illinois. You ain't got a bunch of big cities in Illinois like you do Pennsylvania at two, maybe like two. Illinois ain't got nothing but Chicago up north. The northern part of the state is Chicago, but anywhere else around Illinois is racist and shit. That's where a lot of your sundown towns came from, Illinois. So, yeah, I'm afraid if you're in Illinois, nigga, you in trouble. Indiana, hell yeah, you get locked up. So I'm naming all your states for you. West Virginia, you get locked up. West Virginia. Maryland, probably not. Close, but I don't think Maryland you can be on. I don't think they're gonna get you in Maryland. That's where all the Kenyans live at. Maryland, you'd be right there. Delaware, you probably be all right, right? New Jersey, I don't know. New Jersey is a toss-up. My goofy brother lives up in New Jersey. I don't know. New Jersey goes back and forth. I don't know. New Jersey's got a lot of racist Italians. You might get locked up in New Jersey. Then next over is New York State and New York City. So New York State and New York City combined, probably not. Probably not gonna lock your ass up in New York. right? You might have problems in Massachusetts, though. Racist ass Boston. Connecticut, nah, I don't know, close. Probably not. So I'm just giving you, in Maine, they locking your black ass up. So it's not many states. The majority of states are going to go for this bill. So it's not going to be many mistakes. Funny part about it, as bad as expensive as California is not going to lock you up for being homeless, right? As bad as Cali is, because it's expensive, California is never going to pass any law ever locking your black ass up for being homeless. Because you're going to be homeless because you can't afford shit then, right? But go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead, please.
Yesterday we had talked about forced treatment and how
forced labor,
based on a Trump executive order, more and more places are starting to do variations of forced treatment.
Yeah.
So now Louisiana is talking about doing some more Jim Crow era stuff where
Jim Crow.
They're going to, if you cannot pay for it. So basically we're going to debtor's prison for being homeless. Yesterday we talked about forced treatment.
It ain't debtor's prison because I don't think they used to make debtor's prisons do work. You just have to work off your debt, I think, but this ain't debtor's prison. This is slavery. You don't owe nobody no money. You don't owe nobody no money. You can't afford to live in a place to live. You got no job that pays enough. And then whatever you even work, remember, most homeless people in America especially work. They just can't afford to fucking pay rent because the jobs don't pay shit, right? So even though I got a job now, I'm gonna lose my job and go to jail and work for free. You see, this is so, I'm telling you, this is from the minds of psychopaths. Everything they do always goes back to evil. I don't give a fuck where they are on the planet. They're the same white people in South Africa, Australia, wherever you find them motherfuckers. They're the same. Evil. And if they get a chance to do evil, they're going to do it. Make no doubt about it. If they got a chance between good and evil, they're always going to pick evil. Always. Always. Because it's their nature. You wouldn't even think of that. Like where's the humanity? Imagine you reading this shit as a you in the Louisiana legislator, right? You're a state representative in Louisiana, right? Not even national. You're in the state house, the state Congress, and somebody writes this bill. And you're like, why would we pass? Why would we do this? This is evil. First thing you would think, this is evil. People at their lowest point, they want to be outside and no place to live. You think they want to be outside, assed out, can't wash their ass and balls and brush their funky ass teeth, sleeping in the rain and some shit? You think they want to be that way? So we're gonna make it even worse to benefit us. So we have slave labor. We make money off of them. Then we put them in violent conditions. Could be no prison life in America is violent. Any prison in the world is violent. So now we took a non-person that had a criminal record, now put them in, house them in prison where they get raped and beat. This is prison where you're going to get raped and beat. But you call this shit the Street to Success bill. I want you to think about the level of psychopathy this is. Evil. And the majority of them all signed that shit. They all signed it. All of them. Evil. They're saying, I didn't know I don't understand what I'm doing. You black handkerchief head niggas like to do. Some white people just don't know no better and all that old shit. They know what this bill says. They know it's evil. They know it's slavery. And they sign yes. Yes. Yes, overwhelmingly. Yes. Yes, goddammit. Yes. Slavery. We want it. Told y'all better read that Project 25 bill. They want all black people globally black in slavery. So they got rich. You realize that? Yeah, oh, that's right. Not none of your goofy history books. The exploitation of black people globally blocked white people wealth. Bought the Jays, the cats with the hats wealth. When all of them were all broke, bummy, and fucked up before they left Europe, all fucked up with disease, not taking baths, not washing their ass, had all these damn plagues because they were sitting on shit, eating shit, sleeping on shit. Fucking women had shit in their ass. Yeah, that's real. That's not me being hyperbolic. That's actually real. Hugging motherfuckers with doo-doo all on them. Yeah, because they ain't take baths but once a year. See, that's what another thing got. Remember, we always say sayings and don't know where they come from, right? When we say, don't throw the baby out with the bath water. Remember, say don't be too extreme. Don't throw. Now we know where that came from. That's another European saying, right? Of them being poor. So don't throw the baby out with the bath water. Where'd that come from? Because every year, or once every 2 years, they would take a bath. And since the man got to go first in their man society, right? We're gonna be truth and shame. We're gonna tell the truth and shame the devil. Now the fucking fake movies they gave you about their past, their real history. So they didn't watch their stinking nasty ass. So they would get in the tub once a year, once every 2 years usually, right? Once every 2 years. That's not even the norm, but that's some of them. They wash their filthy body once every. Can you imagine the amount of stink and doo-doo on your body? Imagine this shit. So they fill the tub up, right? The dad would go first, then the wife, right? Then all the kids, and then left. It was so black and filthy, and then the baby would be putting that filthy ass shit. And since it was so black and filthy, when they're about to throw the water out, they would say, don't throw the baby out with the bath water because you couldn't see the baby and all that fucking filth. See, we don't ever understand they don't want to tell you their fucking culture. You know why brides have flowers when they go down the damn aisle? You didn't know what that was? Never knew that, huh? Because the bride stuck. Her booty hole stuck. The flowers would have stuck, would try to mask the funk of the dirt. Or you smell old bologna and cheese from her coochie and her ass. You didn't know that, huh? Reason why you care black people just do shit today. Where the fuck is from? Why is the woman got a bouquet of flowers and shit? Walking down the aisle, ooh, getting married. It's to mask the doo-doo and stinking coochie smell. I don't know how much it worked. I don't think you can mask rotten coochie and stinking butthole. But that's what they did. So that's why their tradition and now your traditions, you ain't got no idea where that goopy shit even came from. You don't know them flowers are meant to mask the doo-doo and coochie smell. Because you ain't take no bath. I'm gonna say a good pause that right there. Keep that open, Joby. Let's ask Google, because they gonna lie by now. Let's ask Google. Ask Google, Joby. Let's go to Google. Say, what was the reasoning behind the bride carrying a bouquet of flowers? Let's see. Now remember, they're gonna rewrite history now. So this is known. Let's see what Google, how these white people rewrite history, make up a lie. In ancient, say in ancient times, because they ain't even ancient, it's only 400 or 500 years ago. We're gonna say ancient. So in ancient times.
I already have it.
Oh, good. What's it saying?
It says brides historically carried flowers to mask body odor in.
Okay, that's right. They stopped. Okay, I thought they would change it by now. That's right. The body. Go ahead, Joby. Body odor.
To mask body odor in medieval times, ward of evil spirits and symbolize fertility, fidelity, and new birth.
They trying to add some extra. It doesn't do with no evil spirits. No, it's because you stank, Joby. Your body over, your coochie stank, and your butt had doo-doo in it. has a massive smell. So next time you go to a wedding, and you see people with the bouquet and they throwing the flowers to the blowing the flower to the next girl, she used to carry that so she don't stink when she get married, Joby. So I'm standing next to you saying I do while I'm smelling your stinking coochie.
One of the things that we can.
Those are your saviors, Joby. Those are your missionaries who came to civilize you. Go ahead.
Also say is that scripture doesn't necessarily follow the politic or the policy of some, even in deep red ruby states. I wanted to throw this up about Louisiana, and there is a state house bill that's advanced.
No. See, this one is goofy niggas talking about their scripture, and see, we gotta forgive white people for what they do. It's about scripture. Don't follow scripture about them being this evil. These niggas always gotta hold on to this fake ass scripture shit. When white people just show that they're evil. You don't give a fuck about what you're talking. Go ahead, Joe.
To choose between jail or a treatment program. If they choose treatment, they have to pay for it themselves. And if they can't afford to pay, they'll be forced to do unpaid labor.
That's slavery.
Exactly. Thank you, lady. Oh, Joe, you went too far. Yeah, exactly. That's slavery. They always like to change the word, like they did in Kenya. All Kenyans had to do unforced labor. What is that? That's slavery. Slavery. They don't want to say slavery. Unpaid labor, unsomething labor. They don't want to say slavery. It's slavery. We're going to get to this war too. It's slavery. You understand this? It's slavery. But they don't want to put it out there because it sounds so harsh and so real. Because you can't say you're doing the streets to success bill and call it what it really is, slavery. Go ahead, Joe.
State of Louisiana just passed a bill in the House that punishes people for experiencing homelessness. If you are found sleeping outside, they give you two options. Either you can choose to go to jail, or they will place you in a mandatory treatment facility. But this is the catch. They're making people who are unhoused actually pay for their
They're not drug addicts.
If you're unable to pay,
most people that's homeless are not drug. They see this is just how the scam works. Most people are homeless ain't drug addicts. What are you talking about? Most people that are homeless are not on drugs. They're law-abiding citizens that can't pay their bills because of the economy. There are no jobs. So what I'm supposed to pay with taco sauce, taco meat? And that's going to lead me also to this war, guys. But go ahead, Jim. I'm going to finish. I'm going to go into the war.
Treatment while in this program, that's when they make you do unpaid labor. History has slavery for them. See, when it comes to homelessness, we actually give people more stability when we treat them with dignity instead of.
You don't want to do that.
Feels like this, just they don't work. It creates more problems. It pushes people into more invisibility and has never solved homelessness. Hey, my name is Dr. Terrence Lester.
See, he's a goofy doctor, probably a psychologist, right? Trained by white people. It doesn't really help. They're not trying to help shit, stupid. They're trying to bring back slavery. It's not to help you, stupid. That's to help their pockets, their bottom line. They know what's going to do that to help you. It's to bring back slavery under a different name and be able to defend it by calling it, the streets to success. Well, is that slavery? No, you heard what we called it. It's the streets to success bill. That's in your mind, slavery. We call it the streets to success bill. But it's slavery. It's street to success. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm a writer, public scholar, and community leader, and I just want to keep you informed.
Louisiana's House Bill 211 will criminalize public camping, imposing fines, jail time, and forced.
Louisiana cities criminalize homelessness. You can be arrested for sleeping on a bench, sitting too long in a park, or asking for money. Being poor is illegal here. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and other Louisiana cities have anti-homeless ordinances that make it illegal to sleep in public.
They named this city. Charles Nish lives in Lafayette. Charles Nish. lock your ass up,
or loiter for extended periods. Homeless people get tickets they can't pay, which turn into warrants, which lead to arrest. Once arrested, they're stuck in the system jail. Fines, probation, making it even harder to get housing or jobs.
Never get out.
Police sweep homeless camps, destroy people's belongings, including tents and medications, and force them to move with nowhere to go. Louisiana has almost no shelters or affordable housing programs.
On
Instead of solving homelessness, we criminalize it. The result? Homeless people cycling through jails instead of getting help. It costs more to incarcerate them than it would to house them. But Louisiana punishes poverty instead of addressing it. Follow for Louisiana.
No, don't. Because I'm getting slave labor. We're getting that AI. It's not costing them more to house them. You're forgetting they're doing slave labor for companies. That's the whole thing. That's the whole scam. Scam is to put them in prison to create slave labor. Okay? That's why this bill exists. That's why I tell you other things, but they want to. This is slavery. That's what they're doing. It's in your face. That's what they're trying to bring back slavery by any other name, any other means. This is slavery. Like that, shout out that black woman. This is slavery. Oh, it's going to be unpaid labor, forced labor, blah blah. It's slavery. Okay. And if you read Project 2025, it's in there. If you guys know, shout out to this guy. I understand. I've always tried to teach you guys. They study us, right? I'm gonna type this in real quick, Joey. Hold on, type this in. They study us, guys. So you guys know the head of the Racist Ass Heritage Foundation studied Black history. So him studying us, right? He learned. I already told you this. And I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. Type this in the thing. While I'm talking, he learned how we survived during slavery. What made us not try to teach you back then? They knew that's why they destroyed the black woman. As he understood, he said the black woman was the key to our success. The African woman was the key. We destroy her, we destroy them. This is writings. He says the black woman, when they got to get out of slavery, that formed the community. That started educating the children. I said that. He said, so it's the black woman we must focus on and destroy her ass. That's why our black women today are all out of pocket. They forgot all twerking and shit, did all kind of insane, dumb shit. You know, tattoos all over their fucking body, weird ass makeup all on them, face, eyebrows, tint, this crazy shit, right? Because they knew, is it right? They had destroyed the women. Harris Foundation put Trump in power, them and all the J's, right? But he studied us. Say, put it up. Say the head of the Heritage Foundation studied Black history. His dissertation was in Black studies. So he can tear us apart. Can you imagine this? The racist white man spent his whole college career studying our ass, how to fuck us up and tear us down. You understand this? You said we must go after the black woman to fuck her head up. So you think when I tell you the black woman mind in America is fucked up, and that's what they're doing in Africa? And I just tell Rumbi's this in Zimbabwe. She knew what the fuck her and her girlfriend. They knew exactly what the hell I was saying. Because they got white people in Zimbabwe. A bunch of them said, it's here, Keith. I knew it. He's telling you. But go ahead. Go ahead, Joby. Go ahead, one.
I've been hanging out on Threads, and I came across this. This is your daily reminder that Kevin Roberts, president of the Heritage Foundation, got a PhD in African American history and then used it to author Project 2025 and dismantle civil rights, racism.
That's what they're doing, remember? And look, what they're doing now, they dismantle everything you fought for, remember? Oh, you goofy African niggas that are here, you better learn to get ready to fight, stupid. See, you thought you're different tribe like Joby, so that stupid shit. you're a nigga. All this shit affects black people. You better learn to get your fighting goddamn, you better learn to get your fucking gloves on. Because like I told you, you think all this shit he learned, that's why they re-implemented slavery in Louisiana, why they take away your voting. This is all, everything learned to destroy you, to put you back in slavery. This no good cracker said these motherfuckers say they should have never even allowed us to sing. Remember, because us singing during slavery out in the fields had healing. They learned that it healed us. They said we shouldn't allow these niggas to even sing. Imagine that level of evil. But they've been studying us. That they got the nerve to write that filthy shit. That they should never allowed us to even sing. To have any kind of hope. That's what they wrote. Because singing allowed these niggas to have hope. And we were supposed to steal that hope. Keep them enslaved. This is what the minds of these psychopaths. That's what they wrote. That singing gave us hope and gave us resilience through the black woman. He wrote it through the black woman to fight this beast. See, you understand the black woman was at that time was the majority. You know they were raping black men. They were raping the black woman mercifully on these fucking plantations. Imagine how many times your great-great-grandmother was getting raped. Getting violated. So through the black women came the struggle. But I've been said that. Black women always start, even in Africa, said black women start revolutions, always. That's why we seen in Kenya that girl was by that police. So I'm fighting for your freedom and mine too. He had the goofy African nigga next to her, uncle all stupid and cowardly. It was her. You know, they about to shoot her in the face. The dude next to her was all cowardly. Ooh, what the hell was going on? So he's writing to the black woman how we destroy the black family and black community. Go ahead, Joby. Go ahead and play it.
I was not surprised at all, but I was really excited to read that. And the reason why I got excited to read that is because I know how much information there is when it comes to learning about American slavery. I have said on multiple occasions that the American empire, the United States, does not want its citizens to look too closely into slavery because if we did, our noses would touch the mirror. And
you would know exactly. You would know. You would know exactly. You would know that that's what they wanted. That's what's been their greatest success. That's made these white people wealthy, and they're mad that they lost it. You imagine, especially Black Americans. You're the less scared Negroes. You're the one fighting them, dragging them in the streets, fighting them. Most of these other Negroes are all cowards around the world. Oh, white daddy, like South Africa. Oh, white man, white daddy. So they've been planning to put you back in slavery for a while and destroy your communities. It's all been planned. MLK, destroying your black woman. You can't compare the black woman today with your great grandmas and your grandma. You can't compare them. They don't compare to your grandmothers and your great grandmothers at all. These black women in America do not compare. And they're just honest. They don't compare to the black woman, the African American woman from the 40s, 30s. They do not compare. The fight, the respect, the education, the reverence, the temperance, none of it. The discipline. And they did that on purpose because they said we were too united. Told you with him and the CIA. They said the black woman was we were too united, and the backbone of the community was the black woman. We destroy her ass. Tell her she don't need no man. Put her out like this and all this kind of shit. We leave her. We completely fuck her up. Because you guys always ask, why don't other women act like this? I said it yesterday. Asian, because they didn't go up to Asian women. They didn't go up to Hispanic women. They didn't go up to other women. They go up to black women. on and off the continent now. Off the continent first, because you're the beginning of everything and you are the wealth. Okay? Go ahead, play it, Joby.
Used the information that he got from learning about slavery and learning about Black history in America. He used that information to be this powerful. I cannot emphasize enough that the best thing that you can do as an American, if you do nothing else, is to learn about slavery. Now, there was a community note that had been added to the that particular post. I'm going to show you that too. It says, Kevin D. Roberts is the president of the Heritage Foundation and a former history professor. He earned his doctorate in history from the University of Texas at Austin, focusing on Louisiana's slavery history. His 2005 dissertation...
Focus on Louisiana. So he was studying at the University of Texas in Austin, right? Shout out to the Longhorns, right? Right? And he studied Louisiana's slavery. And guess who's going back into slavery first? Louisiana. Ain't it coincidence? Go ahead, Joby.
And slavery in Louisiana, the evolution of Atlantic world identities, 1791 to 1831, studied Atlantic world slavery, specifically focusing on the Haitian Revolution and Nat Turner's Rebellion. He looked at the difference between assimilation and revolts. You ever have so much information inside of you, so many feelings, so much, I feel like I'm going to burst. So right now I am reading a book called Bound for the Promised Land. It's about Harriet Tubman. It's her biography, and it's written by Kate Clifford Larson. And anybody that knows me knows that I love Harriet Tubman. Ever since I learned about her when I was a little girl, I've just been I find inspiration from her. And when I'm reading this book, right, and one of the things that's coming up quite a bit after Harriet has freed herself and has been freeing many others, the biggest issue that she is bumping up against is capitalism. She can't afford nothing. And so she's constantly having to raise money. All of the energy and time that she could be using towards her cause is being spent with her asking for money, raising money, finding creative ways to get access to money. And even the abolitionists who are helping her, the white abolitionists who generally are middle class, they are kind of giving her money piecemeal because they say that she wouldn't know what to do with a whole lot of money, which of course is very infantilizing to this woman who has been through so much and done so much. But either way, Harriet Tubman broke free from a plantation system to only be a part of a bigger plantation. And that was unfortunately a plantation that she could not escape from because everybody was on that plantation, and that plantation was capitalism. And so while many of us can understand the idea of chattel slavery being wrong and just thinking that, what Harriet Tubman did and what Nat Turner did and what a number of slaves who revolted, what they did was the right thing. And even though at the time it was illegal, Harriet Tubman was committing a federal crime at that time, even though it was illegal, we still understood that ethically and morally it was right for them to do what they did by disrupting that entire system, as opposed to assimilating into the system, revolting and rebelling against the system. We understand that to be the moral thing to do in an unethical situation such as the one that they were all a part of. But we are now currently a part of a much larger unethical system, one that governs pretty much all of our actions. And we are being put under more and more surveillance. And there are little whisperings of revolt and whisperings of rebellion. But for the most part, everybody's like, well, all you have to do is play within the system, assimilate within the system, work with the system, and then you can win the system. That's like saying if you are a better slave, if you are a gooder slave, then your slave master and you will have a more positive working environment. People are currently working and they're not being paid for their work. People are not being given the value of what their work is worth. People are not being given housing, and they are paying way more for housing than that housing is worth. Housing is a human right, just like freedom for everybody to be able to live their life and not be owned by another human. That was a
sounds like Joby, human right. That's right. You said that's supposed to be free. Why does it free? It's a human right. Welcome to the world, Joby.
Housing is a human right. Food is a human right. being able to live safely, that's a human right. Access to healthcare, that is a human right. Access
It would
to
be if they didn't control
those
the
are
world.
human rights. And so we're at a point right now where a lot of people are going to start understanding that you cannot win in an unethical system. You're going to have to break the law. Yes, try to do things the system's way, but also you're going to have to create infrastructure so that when you free yourself from this system, that you will have a safe place to land. So that's something that I've been thinking about quite a bit when I'm reading this book. I'm sorry I'm talking so fast. I got other things I got to do today, but like reading this book, I was thinking to myself, damn, like if there was a system that was set up for people who'd been freed, and that was what Harriet was trying to do after the fact. Like she was trying to help set her family up and all of the people that were freed. Like, you know, when it came to the Underground Railroad, that was a big part of what they had to do, was like help people who've been newly freed try to integrate into society. But society was already unjust. It was already unethical, and that you have to pay for things that are human rights. So that's kind of where we are when it comes to the fight against slavery. That was never solved, and it's only getting worse. So like, I mean, I just ultimately learn about slavery so you can understand human rights and all of the ways that this country currently violates them, and how you have to work. Like another thing that my studies about slavery has taught me, because I've been studying this my entire life, and I went to school and I studied this too. Maybe not at the PhD level, but like in my free time and just in general for the past 20 something years, I've just been studying slavery and just learning about slavery and that kind of thing. But one of the things that I find to be particularly interesting when it comes to slavery and just the civil rights movement in general is that it takes a rebellion. It takes breaking the law first, and then suddenly all of the votes, all of the laws, everything starts to be backed up what the people have already decided by force.
Yeah,
then
exactly. I told you, it always comes through. Ain't none of this voting going, none of this shit. Always comes through revolutionary struggle. Force. That's how they stole the world. Through force. Like Joe said, through power. Nothing comes to you crying, oh, white people being so bad again. Oh, that shit don't work. And you learn that because that's why they did the bait and switch. If you guys understand, they did bait and switch with us, right? Let me explain this to you real quick. They did a bait and switch with us, our grandparents, our parents and grandparents, 50s and 60s. They did a bait and switch. And I say they did the same shit in Africa too. It's always masterful. It blows my mind how they able to do it, and we always fall for the okie doke. So the bait and switch is what brought them to the table, like she's saying, was violence. Black people stop. See, what you're giving in their media is protest. You walk around in a circle holding some fucked up signs that change shit. That was the lie. What got them to the table to change about all these laws that changing things was the violence, was the bubble gumming in the streets, was the bubble gumming in the house, the violence and the threat of violence got them to the table. That's when you heard Lyndon Baines said, wow, they could have got more, but was able to quash them with this MLK shit. And you think, and that's what they give you on that. Remember, they control the media. So it's mind control. So they give you a narrative that's a lie, that peaceful protests change things. Martin Luther King and people singing like they did in South Africa, singing and walking in the streets changed the white man's heart. You've been giving that propaganda for 60 fucking years. And you believe that goofy shit because it's in all your commercials, McDonald's, Popeyes, KFC, all that shit. Propaganda. When you should have realized it was the violence that got them to the table. Not nobody singing and dancing in no fucking streets with no goofy ass sign. Say, please give me freedom. Please stop fucking over me. And then also white people say, okay, we're going to be good. That's the fake narrative they give you, right? That's the lie. Because that's why they don't give a fuck about you marching in the streets, protesting. That shit don't change nothing. Only violence, revolution changes anything. And you see that through history. They didn't come into your damn communities, protest you to steal your shit. They didn't come holding up signs, Joby, I want your land. Here's my sign. Came and knocked you over your fucking head stole that shit, put you into slavery. Okay? Violence, not no protest. But they gave you goopy motherfuckers, like I told you years ago, that nonsense about protesting. That changes nothing. Nothing. Unless you're going to completely overthrow the government. Shout out to Ibn Torre. Told you the same thing. All these dumbass protests we've been doing. Shit they moved till we overthrew the government. That's right. Through violence. How they won in Burkina Faso. Through violence. You singing songs and dancing and shit. That's what they told you with the MLK shit. You have a dream. Have a goofy dream that my son is going to sit in the class with goofy white kids and it's going to be all right. Well, 60 years later, now the kids are old and they're still writing the same fucked up shit that put you back in slavery. Now, remember, those were kids MLK was talking about. That's 60 years ago. That's 60, what is it, 2026? That's 63 years ago. Those kids are in their 60s or 70s, right? At they 5, they 70 years old or 68. They're old as shit. Those kids he was talking about are old as shit. And the laws are still the same and getting worse. So obviously that wasn't the way to go. That goofy Nelson Mandela shit. See how the South Africans all fucked up, impoverished. You get that bootlicking handkerchief head nigga talking about peace. Well, you ain't got shit back. You haven't been made whole. You haven't received any justice. Because there's no justice without power. Right? You singing songs, holding down, don't give a fuck about that. Cares about you singing a song, holding a fucking sign. So what? The threat of violence changes everything. The threat of revolution changes everything. The threat of violence changes everything. Okay? That's why that's ever moved anything. Go look through world. Everybody wants you to know World War history. Ain't ever been no fucking what they call peaceful revolution nowhere in history ever. They want to get that fucking fake ass Gandhi shit. That's fake. They want to always dope that fake ass. Everybody told you MLK was studying from racist ass Gandhi. You know that's a lie because he knew Gandhi was a racist. It wasn't hidden back then that Gandhi pedophilic ass was also a racist. Hated black people to his core. He told you black people were supposed to be enslaved. He said all these goofy South African niggas are supposed to be slaves. That's what Gandhi said. This Mahatma motherfucker. That the world's supposed to be, say he's a great man. Had you believe in all this crazy bullshit from this wicked ass, pedophilic ass, non-bathing Indian bastard running around here. Right? Racist as hell. Talking about black. He said black people stink. Black people were. He said black people were born to be slaves. He said black people were stupid. This is your Gandhi. That they tried to make a hero. See how media works? Because growing up, media made Gandhi. They had a movie about this no good bastard. Right? Trying to make him all great when he cover his real history up. He said black people were born to be slaves. That's what he said, not me. He said they're supposed, all races, this is Gandhi, so all races should put forth the effort to make sure the black man and woman are forever kept in slavery. This is Gandhi, supposedly a man of God, a man of the Hindu God, whatever they are, right? This is Gandhi. This is the pedophilic as racist Indian Gandhi. Trying to talk about Gandhi, some moral person. Black people supposed to look. And like I said, black people didn't realize he was racist, especially in Africa. They got Gandhi everywhere in Africa. This racist ass, no good bastard. Until, like Joey said, they got because the internet and the smartphone. That the Ghanaians finally got the word first. And I used to argue with all these goofy Africans about Gandhi. Just like Mother Teresa, those other fake ass people they believe in, right? Shit used to be crazy. right? So when Ghana first found out he was racist, they said they're gonna take his statue down. And when the Indians told Ghana they bet not take that racist statue down. You imagine some country telling you don't take some racist statue down in your country dedicated to hating black people. Shout out to Ghana, at least they tore that shit down and chopped it up. That shit out of here. But yeah, but that's the plan. But go ahead, Jimmy, go ahead and play it.
In the direction that the people have already been in. One of the things in the book that it talks about is that near the end of slavery, there were so many revolts, there were so many slaves running away, there were so many things happening where like slaves would like poison their masters. It started to become a liability.
Pause it. See, remember their stories, they like to tell that lie. See, white people are making figures. Oh, yes, why you come in, they come in your damn chat room talking that stupid shit to you. You know, white people fought for you and freed you as slaves. You're like, what? Got a fake, but that's the fake history they put in your books, put in your movies. It's all fake. They couldn't keep black people enslaved, like she said, which is fact, because of the revolts, because of poisoning, killing them, bubble gumming them, and the wars that were happening. They couldn't keep black people enslaved because of the wars. Constant war, but that's not none of your books. But that's a fact history. During the Seminole Wars, these are wars that were happening in North Carolina, South Carolina, down to Florida. Open warfare. Because blacks refused to be slaves anymore. So you couldn't keep a black man or black woman a slave. They would kill you in your sleep. They would come in the middle of the night and slit your goddamn throat. Let you choke on your own blood. See, that's not good for your story. That was what they, white, this whole story that we give you, just like civil rights. White people realized they were bad and decided to get good. And that's how slavery stopped, right? Same old fake story they give you with the fucking civil rights. White people decided to be good. You knew they was bad. We were being bad and gave black people right to vote and right to live places. Because they decided, we're being bad. You always know that's a lie because they're doing the same shit again. It's only when you fight, right? And they have to go upside somebody's you know what with the act of violence that anything ever changes. So, you know, all their narratives are always, everybody always want to erase history. All their narratives are always lie because they're evil, but then when they lose, they want to write stories about them being good, like the South Africans. How the apartheid is, all white people realize they're bad to these niggas. And they decided, let's stop being bad to the nigga and free them. It's always the fake story they give. It never tells through an act of violence. But it never showed that secret war between Angola and South Africa. Violence. It's always the white man got good shit. White man got good. Just like with Kenya. Most Kenyans don't know their own story. The white man got good. How did Kenya get free? The white man got good, got nice. Wasn't it the Mau Mau fighting and killing white people? I don't know nothing about that. Well, yeah. The Kenyans used violence. Start bubble gumming British in their sleep. Go into the plantation, burn it down, and kill them. And shout out to the Kenyans and killing the coons. If they thought you was a coon, you got bubble gum. See, yes, average Kenya don't even know that. Through violence, how they got Kenya back. If you was a coon, they bubble gummed you. They bubble gummed you. Okay? That's how Kenya got independence. Violence. After no fake Jomo Kenyatta talking and all these fake stories they give you. That's because of the Africans in Kenya went to war. War. Violence. Okay? And that, white people decided to get good in Kenya. Said, we knew it was wrong, my bad. We'll give you back some of your land. We won't try to completely dominate you. We've seen the errors of our ways. all that old fuck nigga shit. Lies. Go ahead, Joe. Finish that.
Dangerous and scary to own slaves. And they started having to spend so much money and so much time trying to police their slaves that after a while, it just wasn't as lucrative. And this is not to say that it wasn't lucrative. It was lucrative, and it continued to be lucrative all the way to the end. That's why they had to transmute it and turn it into something different so that we still have slavery, and it's a very much alive and well. But the way that they did it, they had to restructure it. But I'm saying all of this to say that all of these systems are very much like a man, where like a woman will come up with an idea and everybody starts doing it, and then the man takes credit for it afterward or something like that. Like, that's how all of this works. That's why I always say, like, patriarchy and white supremacy and all that, everything's tied together, capitalism, all of that. So the people push things by breaking the law, disregarding the law, opting out, and that's when the law follows suit. Either way, learn about slavery, learn about the history of America, but really learn about slavery and try to put your emotions aside. Yes, it was sad. It was a horrible thing. It's terrible. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, take some time to cry, do what you got to do, but like, learn about slavery from a logical point of view, because you learn so much. And there are so many things that they don't want you to even consider as an option for how we can change this world. And they know that. They know that. He looked at the difference between assimilation and revolts. They know how much power there is in that information, and you should too.
What's up, family? Let's talk about an uncivilized mutt.
I've been seeing this go around. Kevin Roberts, president of the Heritage Foundation, got a PhD in African American history and then used it to author Project 2025 and dismantle civil rights. Y'all know this sent me down a rabbit hole, right? Y'all want to come? Come on. I said, there's no way this man has a degree in African American history. Learn the things that he learned about African Americans, about the formerly enslaved, and come out the megalomaniac that he is today. And I saw in his Wikipedia that his degree is not in African American history. His degree is in history. Now he has what we call a concentration.
Yeah, his PhD is in
African American history. For those people with multiple degrees, you know that you can choose an area with maybe one or two disciplines. So it wasn't his main focus per se, but in looking at his Wikipedia, you know, I found his thesis and I found his dissertation.
Yeah, this is like American studies.
History. He wrote his thesis on African Virginian extended kin, the prevalence of West African family forms among slaves in Virginia, 1740 to 1870. For his dissertation, he did Slaves and Slavery in Louisiana, the Evolution of Atlantic World Identity, 1791 to 1831. You know, I took notes. Now, in his master's thesis, he spoke about how the extended family, extended kin was a way to resist, right? He talked about the centrality of that. He spoke about the high status and influence of women. He said it was matrifocal.
Always.
And that without these enslaved people being matrifocal, they wouldn't have been able to see any success when it came to freeing themselves. If you're not picking up what I'm putting down, the women, without the women, things wouldn't have changed or moved. That's what he means in this paper. He also talked about the flexible systems of descent, meaning family, right? It wasn't just everything was through the father. It was like, oh, that's my cousin them. Oh, that's auntie them. Like how extended kin played a central role in the enslaved community and how it helped them to resist. Community. He learned that community and women were key central focuses of the enslaved community that led to their freedom. Now, in his dissertation, he focused the main core argument, there were a couple of them, but the only two I want to focus on is that how enslaved people in Louisiana shaped their world by actively resisting. That's what he learned. He also learned that the enslaved used the Catholic Church, the rights of the Catholic Church, market gatherings, legal petitions to build community and push back against slavery. Let's go back to that market gatherings. To me, that sounds like a cookout. It seems like they would gather together and plan and organize,
Right.
which means everybody
Don't
wasn't
invite-
invited to the cookout.
invited to the
Excuse me,
cookout.
market
That's right.
gathering.
That's right.
In order for things to get
Candace
better,
Owens,
everybody
too.
was invited to the market gathering.
No
Now,
white
reading papers and seeing how he governs as the president of Project Heritage Foundation, who pushes Project 2025, that the dichotomy of it is mind-blowing, because it's like the exact opposite. Notes took them. So in Project 2025, they say that the traditional nuclear family is normal, but in his own goddamn research, he found that when the community is matrifocal, when the women are running it, and when there is extended kin community helping as well, they saw change. They saw revolution. Maybe that's why they forcing these traditional nuclear family norms, because they know what community can do. All right. Now, I'm not going to go over all of it. But another thing that Project 2025 purports is that DEI, they're skeptical of DEI, but in his own research, cultural agency and Black community led to resilience that is central to not African American, American history. Diversity helps drive the country forward. That's why we don't have healthcare. Nope. Different video. After going down that rabbit hole, it was never to counter what my fellow content creators are saying. It went a different route. After I read both those papers and I understand how white supremacy works, I realized that this man has researched where the power in the Black community lies. He understands that it lies with women.
The Black woman. Black women. I've been said that. I've been told you that. Anybody have common sense lies with Black. You destroy a woman, you destroy the society. The woman is the society. That's what they're doing in Africa. Destroy the woman, put the woman on the bottom and keep your heel on her, you destroy the society. Or you elevate her in such a way that deranges her, like they did in Black people here, you destroy the society. But anyway, you derange the Black woman and you can destroy the society. So exactly. But you can do that by observation, where they came after the Black woman to destroy the society. Go ahead, Joe.
At the start of his paper to the early 1800s to the late 1800s in his dissertation, he has tracked the power of Black women when it comes to liberation. And how, we have been the drivers of it. So now, as a Black woman, I'm like, oh, okay. He got all the ingredients. Yeah. So I'm trying to see how he's going to try to use the organization to chip away at that power. But you can have all the ingredients.
That's enough. That's enough. Type this real quick. We got to leave in a minute. But type this and say Kenyan young lady tells police that I'm fighting for your rights and mine too. On TikTok. Kenyan lady says, I'm fighting for your rights and my rights in front of the police. I want to explain. I'm going to show you something. This is global. If they didn't take it down, it's still there.
They're trying to fight for you. They're trying to fight for you.
I don't think that's the one. Once she got the Kenyan flag and she's on a gate.
You stood up to
Is that it right there? There it is. We might can't find it. We can't find it, but I'll play some more videos for we. I don't think we can find this shit. Don't worry about it. They trying to find that Pacific one. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Now when you look at her and look at the goofy Black guy by her and this goofy ass strength of the Black woman. But go ahead, Joe. That crazy looking.
We are not going anywhere. We are rejecting the finance bill. Parliament to Africa. This woman. I'm here for Kenya. I'm here for my people. I'm here for your rights.
And they know that. This is global. See, this is dangerous also in Africa with Kenya. So they're going to come after the Kenyan woman and try to destroy her. But anyway, Joey. Oh, there you go. Go ahead, you play again. Go. Because what she do, she would motivate she would motivate the weak ass men to be men. They can't look like a coward in front of her, so they'll motivate her, the men, to be men. But anyway, play the last three ones I sent you. You know about it. I sent you 3. Play the first one first, second one. Play the first one. These are Lego videos talking about Trump. Get right. So I love these Lego videos that they're doing on Trump, no good, but they're hilarious. The lady's rejecting all the tomatoes like Joby. You know, mosquito. Joby's crying about them tomato prices, boy. Joby's gonna go to revolution over the tomato prices. Man, I tell you, everybody missed the damn Iranian propaganda videos have been the best. There you go.
But you still the prez, man. This shit's bizarre. You said you ain't no pedophile, but bitch,
you gotta share it, Joby.
The whole world knows
you gotta share the video. Just see you. No, we just see you. There you go.
Rape. You said you ain't no pedophile, but bitch, you are. They gelling worldwide for that Epstein scar. But you still the prez, man, this shit's bizarre. You said you ain't no pedophile, but bitch, you are. The whole world knows that you perverted rapist star. 30 years since we build different, we don't break. Your people see $5 gas and your whole country shakes. This ain't Call of Duty, these mountains, eat troops alive. We are waiting for them. Come test it, no survivors. If they wanna die for Epstein's list and Netanyahu's war, we got the welcome ready, body bag stacked at the door. Came for war, but got cooked instead. Iran flipped the script, left your whole team dead. You came for war, but got cooked instead. Weakest president ever, take that L and quit, bitch. Go fetch Epstein's pals, go fetch your lobby. This ain't a desert skirmish, this ain't your hobby. No points in these talks, cause the president of the United States of America is a fucking pedophile. You thought you could hide, but we kept the file. Cause the president of the United States of America is a fucking pedophile. F5 ghosted your base, Kuwait smoke, throw jet back home, legend mode. Sheet drones on your millions, your patriots broke. Hit Al-Udeid hangars, Al-Assad runways turned to dust. Bases that took 10 years and billions, one night fucked. Came for war, but got cooked instead. Iran flipped the script, left your whole team dead. F-35s hid radars blind, whole Air Force exposed. We rebuild in weeks, you need years just to reload. Slow ass. Let's talk about your resume, the biggest of L's. You're an Epstein pen pal, rotting in your own smells. You know why?
Got his diaper on.
Of the United States of America is a
Yeah,
fucking
he's a pedophile.
You thought you could hide, but we kept the file. Cause the president of the United States of America is a fucking pedophile. United States of...
Okay, let me share the other one.
You pedophile. Yeah, Dr. Clark did say that, Robin. I forgot that. That the black woman is the strength of society. That's true.
For report, Donald Trump is panicking. And 4 things are driving that panic right now. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Melania Trump.
All the pedophilia.
And Thomas Massey. All 4 just collided in a way that is publicly humiliating to the president. Green revealed a phone call where Trump begged her to stop the Epstein files from coming out. Then she turned Melania's own anti-porn law into a weapon against Trump's political machine. Here's what happened.
Trump called Marjorie,
Said my friends will get hurt.
now Melania's law.
It's pulling up the dirt.
Massey's in the primary,
Epstein's in the file.
the MAGA machine.
It's crumbling mile by mile.
This is the news, we report what is true. Every name, every fact coming straight to you.
Let's start with Thomas Massey in a discharge petition. He pushed to release the Epstein files. That was his mission. Marjorie Taylor Greene signed on, stood right beside him. Then Donald Trump called her personally, tried to chide her. He was yelling on the phone, angry, out of control. Said she was supporting Rand Paul Jr., that was his role. She told him the file said you did nothing wrong. Let the truth come out, let the people move along. Trump said one thing, Marjorie, my friends will get hurt. That one sentence told the whole story plain as dirt. Because if you're innocent, you don't make that call. If you're clean, you don't panic when the documents fall. Now $20 to $25 million is being spent against Thomas Massey in Kentucky. Outside money sent. Miriam Adelson wrote the check. Elon Musk sent funds. These are names tied to Epstein, connected ones. 95% is spinning against Massey in that race is coming from outside Kentucky, not from his own base. Trump endorsed his opponent Edgar Lane back in March, and the machine kept moving forward on its march.
Trump called Marjorie,
Said my friends would get hurt.
now Melania's law.
It's pulling up the dirt.
Massey's in the primary,
Epstein's in the file.
the MAGA machine.
It's crumbling mile by mile.
This is the news, we report what is true. Every name, every fact coming straight to you.
Now here is where Melania enters this story. Director pro-Trump pack called MAGA Kentucky cut a disrespect. They ran an AI-generated ad, called it satire and fine print. Claimed Thomas Massey was in a throuple. That was the hint. The ad showed Massey holding hands with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Then sitting at dinner with Ilhan Omar. Fabricated threats. Marjorie Taylor Greene saw the ad and went public fast. She said this would be illegal. This line has been passed because Melania Trump championed the Take It Down Act, signing the law in 2025, and that is a fact. That law makes it a federal crime to...
I love the beat of that one.
I start by saying I'm sorry that it took me this long to talk about this. The Supreme Court.
Now this is what I told you. Now pause it for a second. Now this is gonna break your heart. This breaks your heart because they'll never realize that times change. They don't. That's why she's about to cry. She doesn't realize. Yeah, times change. They don't. Go ahead, Joby.
April 29th, and I have been quiet about it. Honestly, it's just because I've been in my head. Like, this one was a lot. I felt like my brain broke, so I know I needed to take a minute to process before I came and shared my thoughts, you know? So before anything else, thank you for being patient with me. So when people hear voter suppression, they think old history, right? But it wasn't. It was policy, wasn't it? Poll taxes, literacy tests, grandfather clauses, white-only primaries, and violence behind all of it, you know, to make sure that it worked. In Louisiana, the state at the center of this ruling, Black voter registration dropped from 130,000 in 1896 to just over 1,300 in 1904. That didn't just happen, it was built that way. But the Voting Rights Act in 1965 made all of that illegal. Within 5 years, Black voter registration in the South nearly tripled. And then April 29th, 2026, the court ruled that to challenge a map for diluting Black votes, you now have to prove that the state meant to do it. Nobody's going to say that out loud. They're going to redraw the map and say it was about something else. Congress already knew that, though. And that's why they took that intent requirement out in 1982. But the court just put it back in. In 2013, the court got rid of federal oversight. Within 24 hours, states passed laws that had already been blocked. In 2021, they weakened ballot access protections. And now this. Same law, same direction, just piece by piece. Now, 6 days after the ruling, Louisiana's Republican governor suspended the state's congressional primary mid-election to let the legislature redraw the map. Alabama called a special session to do the same thing. Tennessee called a special session. Mississippi has a special session scheduled for May 20th. Officially to redraw state Supreme Court districts, with Trump pushing to add congressional districts to the agenda. Florida passed new maps the same day the ruling came down. South Carolina is gearing up to follow. At least 15 House districts in the South are at immediate risk of being eliminated. The Congressional Black Caucus could lose between 15 and 20 members in a single redistricting cycle. Cleo Fields in Louisiana, Benny Thompson in Mississippi, Terry Sewell in Alabama. Black majority districts up and down the South. This is happening right now while you're watching this video. So here's what this actually does to your life, right? If you live in a state with the Black population big enough to matter politically, your district is about to get redrawn. Your vote is about to be diluted on purpose. Your representative may not be your representative for much longer. That means fewer Black voices in Congress, fewer people in the room when laws about your health care gets written, fewer people pushing back when the budget gets cut, fewer people fighting for the funding that keeps your kids' school open, fewer people protecting voting rights the next time they try to take more. And it's not just Congress. The same ruling reaches state legislatures, school boards, city councils, sheriffs, DAs, entry-level government, where someone Black may have had a chance of representing a Black community. That chance just got smaller. My grandma was born in 1927. That's not history to me. That's her lifetime. And no, this is not Miss May. This is Miss Alice. Her lifetime. One lifetime. One lifetime between a country where Black people couldn't vote and a country now making it harder again in ways that are harder to challenge. This is what people mean when they say things have changed. You know, not one big moment, just smaller decisions that just keep stacking, right? And the people writing these laws and defending these maps are the same people asking for your vote in November. I gave you the playbook of what to look for when you're seeking which candidate to vote for. I'll pin it just to make sure you see it, because it is so important. It is imperative that you stay aware, that you stay alert. And if you watch that video, you now know what to listen for. And you know what they're taking when you stop listening. Don't stop listening.
That's good, Joby. And I know it's fucked, lady, but that's what it is.
Yeah, so let me go through the comments as we wind up. Shout out to everyone who's been with us on the chat. I see Jabali was talking about slavery. Where else can you learn a trade for free? Streets to success. And
exactly. Streets to success in prison. They're gonna put you to work, Joe. They're gonna teach you how to do some shit for free.
I also see we have Cassius Williams. Let me go a little bit up. Ricky said, since you're in Orlando, Florida, Nancy and his Jamaica brother-in-law in Africa. I don't know what you mean.
Who's in Orlando? I know it's hot as hell down here. I don't know who's Jamaican brothers down here. Oh, are you talking about? Are you talking about Lance Scorbaz? We used to live down here. Actually, Lance lived there, but he's down. They moved to Ghana a few years ago. He lived. Yeah, he used to live there up the road. Just about 7-8 miles from where I'm at right now. That's right. Forgot about Lance and his goofy Jamaican brother-in-law. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, they live down here in Orlando. Go ahead.
And I also see Jabba says, just south of Pittsburgh, a cracker chased an Amazon guy for 3 miles and shot at him. Damn.
Wow. So a Black driver trying to deliver some Amazon product to you, Joby. You get to the door, Joby, get the door. Hey, I'm Amazon. How you get your package? You get your ass there, you nigga bitch. Try to shoot you. Chase you for 3 miles. That's Pennsylvania, Joby.
This one says California got many created humanized animal people. And Joe Mosquito Karibu. Ricky says Minnesota. Okay, I'm going to skip that. I also see Joe Mosquito says Maryland has a lot of Black people there. How do you get arrested for being homeless? That's a question.
That's what I'm saying. I said it was. I said not Maryland. I was giving the states that most likely you wouldn't get arrested for. I said not. I said Maryland most likely not. I've named the ones you would and the ones you're not. I said, Maryland, no. Go ahead.
Okay, just a lot of white people are better be going to jail. And Jibba Jabba Ali also said, no, you can't. I smell waiting in line at the grocery store. Stand behind broads in yoga pants. And says, I've never seen flowers in a fish market. Interesting. And John Musti says, forgive your enemies as usual. Jiba also adding, my primary concern is the created fuel shortage that is coming. And John Musti says, if you're homeless, you gotta be walking all night or get arrested. Keja also says, this was part of my Agenda 21. This was part of Agenda 21. They've been planning for years. I've been knowing what they wanted to lock up Black people, and adding that Kamala Harris, I think Kamala Harris helped push this when she was locking Black single moms up. Damn. And
yeah. When she was Attorney General of California, yeah, she.
Pass the time to get out there. Kamala Harris has you fighting fires and shit in California. Slave labor. She ain't out there fighting fires and shit. Go ahead, Joe.
But just says up here, you'll get ticked for pulling scrap out of the weekly trash that's left on the curb. And Jomustu says it's important they subdue and control Black American because they influence all Black people around the world. Keisha also says white supremacy and Zionists want to be the ruling minority class. It's not going to work. Everything they'll do will fail. We aren't our ancestors. True. Says, I want to see if they start locking up homeless white people, they better not come talking bullshit to you. And John Musu says the lady, okay. Robin S says Dr. Clark said the Black woman was the strength of the society. Yeah, and I think basically those are all the comments, and so we wrap it up with today's conversation. We're gonna say have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful weekend, and see you guys on Monday, same time, same place. Maybe Keith has closing remarks.
Oh yeah, I was saying exactly about 10 speed. I said Southern Illinois 10 speed. All Illinois outside Chicago, you got Chicago, but everything else inside the state is racist as hell. You got so many damn sundown towns in Illinois. So I would name all the states that you may be safe in if you're going to be homeless, and what states not to go to, because they're going to be passing these laws. They're going back they want to be openly racist, guys. And these are the the grandchildren of those same kids, same people who acted those laws years ago. So times change, they don't. So I want to say, everybody, I will be back. I will definitely, not going to be on tonight, but definitely, I got a lot of stuff I still want to say. I didn't talk about the war enough. I will be on Saturday. I'm be in a hotel Sunday. If I can come on Sunday, I'll try. But I'll definitely be home at the office, start doing my shows again. Because Joby's now kicking me off her show. So it's probably good that she is, because it makes me got to say shit. So I'm going to have to do my show. Joby's kicked me off her shows. I get it. So since I got so much shit to say, I'm going to start saying my stuff on the weekends, guys.
Yeah.
So much love.
Yeah, so much love. We'll see you guys on Monday. Same time, same place, and be safe. Peace, and we're out.